Hey folks, welcome back. My name's Austin. I'm back at the Cook Your Catch kitchen at the Alaska Fish House, and today we're going to do a crispy pan-seared skin-on fillet of salmon. So we have our dry-aged king salmon here. We dry-aged this for 7 days and we achieved a really beautiful dry skin, tender meat, and we've removed the scales so that when we pan-sear this, you can eat the skin and it's going to get extremely crispy. One thing I'm going to do before we head into the kitchen is cut a few lines in the skin just to slightly expose the flesh. That way it's going to help cook from below as well as let some of that fat and oil get underneath to achieve an even crispier skin. First thing we're going to do is season the fish with salt and pepper. I'm only going to season it on the flesh side. I don't want to season the skin side. We can season that later with finishing salt. But I don't want to draw out any more moisture than I have to with the skin because we want to achieve that crispy skin. Let the seasoning get into the fish. If any moisture comes out, at that point, we can pat it dry with a paper towel. Cast iron, aluminum, whatever it is, just make sure that the pan is hot, and that's going to really help it from not sticking. Olive oil doesn't do extremely well with high temp cooking. Here we're going to use a vegetable oil. And the other fat we're going to introduce is butter. So we have the oil smoking. You can see the sheen as we move the pan around. When I place the fillet in, I'm going to place it away from me so none of the oil is going to splatter. And now you can see that the fish is curling up. So it helped that we put the small slits in it. And at this point, we can lightly press down on the fish to flatten that out. Not too hard. This is probably going to cook 3 to 4 minutes on that skin. We're then going to flip it over, add a little bit of cold butter, some aromatics, baste the fish, and we'll be ready to go. Always use a spatula when cooking fish. Don't use a tong, be gentle with it. And again, let the fish go away from you. So you can see we have a beautiful crispy skin. Now I'm going to add some cold butter, and we basically want this to melt down and start to foam. A little bit of thyme, rosemary, those are going to be our aromatics, and some smashed garlic. And we're going to tilt the pan and baste the fish. You can smell the thyme, rosemary, garlic. It's beautiful. Once the butter stops foaming, we can add more. Want that to stay frothy at all times while we're basting. I'm going to take our fish off, and we're going to let it sit for a second. It's going to continue cooking. We're just going to put that on a plate. You can do a sprig of thyme, squeeze a lemon. You can see the skin. Really nice and crispy. The skin, super crunchy. You can taste that beautiful salmon flavor on the flesh, but the skin is a more intense salmon flavor, so you have this balance of 2 different salmon flavors almost, and the freshness of the lemon. It's really, really good. You can taste the butter. Some of the butter got brown in the pan, a little beurre noisette, which is really nice as well. So just in its simplicity, this king salmon with the crispy skin is one of the really nicest ways to prepare that. So to see other ways we prepare king salmon within our Cook Your Catch, check out exclusivealaska.com.